Welcome everybody. I'm glad we picked April 20th, the 109th birthday of Fenway Park, which has been so much part of all of our lives. 8th anniversary of David Ortiz's unforgettable and unrepeatable speech, and it brings us all to Worcester for yet another chapter in Red Sox history. So welcome everybody. This isn't designed to be a press conference here. It's designed to be a gathering point where you can say hello to the principals, and then it'll be a walking tour. One of the points that, as we got to know Worcester, the mayor and the city manager and the council helped teach us about, was what a city of innovation Worcester is. And Larry said, look, I want a ballpark that looks and feels and smells and tastes like Worcester. It's got to be innovative. This is a high-tech marketplace, and you will have an app that lets you walk in, take what you want, and leave. It's new. It's proprietary software from a company called Standard Cognition. This will be its debut in professional sports and entertainment venues. So this is an innovation that lives up to the reputation that the manager and the mayor told us about, and Larry has driven this point to us in many ways. We've got to have an innovative ballpark. So imagine mom, 2 kids, walk in, grab your bag of chips, your Polar water, you walk out, no line, no transaction time. Yeah, so there's the Woo Sox dugout where those 2 folks are on the warning track.
Yes.
Just to the left of that, those seats come all the way down to the first row, but they're right next to the Woo Sox bullpen. So you've never seen a dugout and a bullpen so close, so that you're going to have dialogue between the players in the dugout and in the bullpen, and you're sitting right in between. But your ears are going to hear a timpani drum with every pitch that the reliever throws to his catcher while warming up. That's an innovation. If you're a 15-year-old with aspirations of playing ball, you are going to get a first-hand look at pitching mechanics, and your ears are going to get a symphony of balls popping in the mitt. So that's a baseball innovation.
And where you're standing now is another wonderful little piece of green for Polar Park, and that is what will come to be known as Woo Sox Farms. And this is where we hope to plant our basil to grow in the kitchen and take in there for your salads, our tomatoes. We'll be working very closely here to be able to supply not only a really beautiful green roof, but one that will help support our kitchen.
And to me, this is Woo Sox Farms is another validation of promise for the mayor and the manager and the city council to use a ballpark for urban nutrition, to have lettuce and cucumbers and onions, herbs and spices, some of which will be consumed here, but much of which through Harvard Pilgrim's relationships is going to go to the city of Worcester, to public markets in the city.
So the accessibility in this park, I think, is really extraordinary. We've worked really hard to have not only 360 around the ballpark, but 360 for someone in a wheelchair.
One of the cool things you will see behind here, standing room seats right here and handicap seats right there.
To me, this most vividly illustrates what you're getting. And 30 years ago, before Camden Yards opened, people who were in wheelchairs were put in common areas together, which meant their companion did not get to sit with them. Larry Lucchino and Janet Marie Smith, in designing Oriole Park at Camden Yards, charged the seating company, American Seating, to come up with something new. And what you're about to see was invented and debuted at Camden Yards. Those of you who remember Jim Brady, the press secretary to President Reagan, who was gravely wounded in the assassination attempt, will remember that he became a nonverbal spokesman on behalf of those with disabilities, and his symbol was a thumbs up. Sunday, April 5th, 1992, he saw what Larry Lucchino and Janet Marie Smith had American Seating invent, and he gave the thumbs up. You simply come to the seat, you pivot the seat, you slide the wheelchair in, and the able-bodied companion sits with the wheelchair companion. It may seem obvious now, it wasn't then. Janet Marie can explain that it was not code back then, it was not law back then, it was an invention, and Worcester's the beneficiary today of that ingenuity from 30 years ago. You will see these speckled throughout the main concourse, plus there's wheelchair seating in every seating category. That means as you look down towards the field and you see a little cement rectangular area in front of those seats, wheelchairs will be able to come right from Madison Street, where we were, come right at grade, and wheelchairs will be right in the front row at Polar Park. So every seating category will accommodate fans in wheelchairs. What is innovative here is in a multicultural city like Worcester, which is an extraordinary multicultural city, you're going to be able to walk in here speaking any of 99 languages, and on your phone you'll have an app that allows you to speak or text in any of your languages, and our staff receives it through this new technology, receives it in English, responds to you in English, and your dialogue then can sustain no matter which of 99 languages you speak. We'll also have people who speak many languages. We're hiring that staff now, but I don't know that we'll have people who speak 99. But that's a new technological innovation that makes sure that people will feel comfortable coming to the ballpark no matter their language. Another innovation, over our careers, Larry's, Janet's, mine, the change you've seen in people's awareness of autism is extraordinary. And not only do those with autism seek a quiet room, a low sensory room, but they are among those who do. And so this innovation lets a family bring a member for whom a little bit of sensory reduction is necessary or healthy to come into the sensory room. Those are two innovations, along with things that ballparks today have, like a nursing room, a first aid room, and a very private restroom. We have more restrooms for sure. But being able to speak everyone's language is a principle that we really want to live by at Polar Park. Another theme that the mayor, the manager, the city council all drove was this has to be an accessible park to people of all socioeconomic levels. And that's why it's an $8 ticket if you're a child, a student, active member of the military, or senior. It's a $9 ticket otherwise. That gets you in the park, general admission, but this is what general admission gets you. You're right at a standing room rail. You're right at the home plate bar. You're right at section 9. You're looking at Union Station. You're looking at Worcester right behind home plate. So this is a ballpark really designed to make sure that it's affordable for everyone, no matter your socioeconomic level.
Our principal architect, Tommy Quirk, is from Worcester. And I think he felt because of the industrial heritage of Worcester, using materials like the steel and the corrugated metal really was the best expression of this city. There's sort of a tradition in baseball to presume that it's going to be red brick like Ebbets Field, but that was Ebbets. This is Worcester.
They've incorporated Worcester as much as they can here, and Dr. Charles Steinberg took his time, and he met with all the community groups, all the business groups, and get their input, and he tried to implement where he could. And I think he's done a wonderful job here representing the city of Worcester, making sure when people come here, this is all about Worcester too.
Drawn by Harvey Ball, and Smiley Ball embodies that in a way that we hope. He drew it in December of '63. It debuted in January of '64, and was really ubiquitous by the end of the '60s.
You have Worcester restaurants here, you know, the Wonder Bar, just walked by, and I believe some other, you have an African restaurant, you have, I believe Coney Island's supposed to be here too.
Welcome to the Shaw's Visitors Bullpen Terrace. So this is a group area, but as you see, it comes all the way, and you can actually walk all the way to the point, where you're right at the left field fair pole, with Smiley Ball on top, the video board obviously. And one of the things that Larry and Janet Marie did was pay tribute to the city's history of triple deckers. You look across the diamond and you see that there are actually 3 levels that look over the field. One is immediately hovering over the Woo Sox bullpen, where the base of that light tower is. A second one to the left, darker blue, that is another $9, $8 vantage point. And then the one that's not yet painted, it will be, one level up, is your triple-decker garden. So Worcester has its own triple-decker, its newest triple-decker in the right field corner. But this is this spot right out here is pretty cool. And behind us is where the berm will go. That will be a green berm all the way from the left field corner to center field. We're about to go up these steps to the Hanover deck, where you're going to be close enough to the train tracks for an engineer to not only wave, but to hear you. So it's one of the coolest spots I think we have.
You have advantage in the whole city, really. You can see a Holy Cross, part of the Holy Cross, and not to take it away, Charles, it's probably your next step.
I want you to tell it.
You see Union Station, you get to see the hills of Worcester, downtown Worcester. The train goes right by here, as Dr. Charles was saying. And you can see all the development that you can watch the development grow. You can watch a game here too. So it's all going to come over the next 3 to 4 years. So.
The manager and the mayor have been the best partners I've ever seen us have with a city. And this to me embodies one of the real attributes of the ballpark that validates the promise. It's a deck that you use whether the team's home or not. If you like this to go look at the field, that's fine. But when the team's on the road, this is still a great spring, summer, fall deck. Sun's going to set right here, so it's a sunset deck. And I was going to ask the mayor and the manager to just talk from up here, because to me this showcases Worcester as well as any place in the ballpark.
And it'll be a facility that can be used for other events. With the train and the sunset, we think this will be popular even when there are not baseball games.
It's going to be a ballpark primarily, but it's also going to be an opportunity to have concerts. It's going to be an opportunity inside the DCU club to have, you know, trainings and conferences and weddings and, you know, birthday parties and all sorts of other events. And it's going to become one of the most important civic spaces in the city, where, you know, major occasions like our high school graduations this year will take place in Polar Park. So for the next many years, people are going to come here and have important experiences, whether it be a birthday, whether it be a time with their grandfather or their parents, that are going to impact them for the rest of their lives. And that's really the magic of a ballpark.
All right, you're looking at the DCU Club, which is a year-round event space. So if you've got club tickets or you're a suite level holder or you're a member of the media, that's all you're going to be able to come here. Smiley is your host. This is a place for dinner before the games, warm up during the games, stay a little bit after. But more importantly, it's a year-round event space. So you can imagine your church outing, your special anniversary celebration, any kind of event that you're looking for. You can see the ballpark on one side and see College Hill on the other. What you also will see, and this is cool for a fan on a game day, you're going to be watching the broadcasters in action. So the home telecast, the home radio broadcast, the visiting radio broadcast, as Smiley is showing you. You want to open that door, Smiley? There you go. Look at that. So the broadcasters will be operating right from there. It's a ballpark that is designed to flourish in the summer, whether the team is home or on the road, and in the winter. We've got some event space that is just a beautiful, beautiful vista of Holy Cross, of College Hill. We've got sunsets on the Hanover deck. Wintertime sunsets are going to come right into the DCU club. So it's a ballpark that we want to use year-round for everyone. It's a ballpark that houses baseball, and we love that. But we love even more when baseball can bring people together year-round at a new venue that we hope is the pride of Worcester.
Yeah, the wonderful part of this is that this was a true community effort. And again, aside from the 30 years that we've been focused on this site itself, the last 5 years has brought this community together in a way that, frankly, is something that I'm really proud of.
If you came here 3 years ago, this was an abandoned parking lot with weeds growing out of the cracks in the asphalt up to your waist. And now you can see what it's been transformed into, and the development and the interest in this area that's been created because of the ballpark. So, pretty exciting.
Opening day is always exhilarating, but especially this year. Worcester, a new team, a new ballpark. The feeling is contagious, and we all have it here. But the fact is, it's a very handsome ballpark, and it works really well. And I think the people of Worcester are going to see it as an important part of the revitalization of Worcester, which started long before we were a part of it. We're happy to join into it.
For the land of the free and the home of love.
We now pronounce ballpark open. Thank you all for being with us in Worcester, Massachusetts, as today and together we celebrate good times. Okay, let's go together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. So, in any event, when Larry called and said, we need you to throw out the first ball, I said, Larry, forget about it. I did that trick 10 years ago at Fenway, and I didn't get it halfway to the pitcher. So I said, I'll roll it out like a bowling ball. And he said, no, I'm going to give you a line or two to remember. That's all you have to do. You're a member of the Screen Actors Guild, so you should have no problem with it. So I've been practicing for a week. But in any event, this is what a senior woman looks like. Okay. Well, I've never seen the event, I was saying a moment ago, electrify a city the way this event has. And hopefully it'll have long legs. So we don't like sitting. Play ball! Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Cousy!